Welcome back, everybody, and I'm slightly off-center. I'm going to fix that. Okay, so... I'm back. This lid is stuck. I have fancy orange juice in a bottle. And I'm playing Sherlock Holmes, again. We are so close. We know it's Tumblety. We have a rough idea where he lives, but for some reason we're in the journalism festival. So no, that's not it. That isn't it. Sorry, I actually solved this puzzle, and I wrote down the answers because it took me far too long to do it, and this is not a fun puzzle. It isn't. So I've written it down, what order they're in, like using like an Excel sheet, and I've got it up over here. This square box is smaller than, I don't know, like I've got it up on the second monitor, and I'm just gonna throw this shit in because it's stupid. How old is this game? Like, I don't think I've ever looked it up. I think it looks like something that would come out in like 2008. I'm going to assume 2008. Because this isn't the first game, there was more games before this. But I'm going through them alphabetically because that's how they appeared in my Steam library. So that's the... okay, politics. Society. Wait, what? Wait. I can...
An envelope is torn. I can tell that this dispatch contains...
What? I didn't know that clue was there. Are there clues like that in every fucking thing? No, it's just that one. I didn't notice that one. The entire time I was just throwing shit in there. News and briefs and oddities, sports, weather, culture, inventions and sciences, police and law, personalities.
These envelopes contain dispatches of police and judicial cases. Now, I need to open them discreetly. I must try to unglue the openings.
Just tear that shit, bro. Use fire. Hey, there's gotta be a degluer. Wait, is there... This is an English office. There we go, there's a teapot. Just use that shit. Put that in your bag. Wait, what? Oh, it's not on, is it? We need to... Is there a tea place?
Closed.
Mr. Director.
Water.
Water. Put that in there. Teapot full of water. And now I need a way to cook that shit. Not cook it, boil it.
I have no reason to go that way.
Ah, here it is. No, put it in.
There, that will provide me with steam.
Can I not? Oh, I gotta use matches on it. Alright. La 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 la. I gotta wait for that shit. There we go.
I need something. Open, and it looks like I'm in luck. This envelope contains precious information.
Hooray! Now I just need to glue it back. Mr. Winnie Baxter, the East Middlesex coroner, held an inquiry on Saturday, the 7th of April, at the London Hospital respecting the death of Emma Elizabeth Smith, aged 45, a widow lately living at 18 George Street, Spitalfields, who, it was alleged, had been murdered. Chief Inspector West of the H Division of the Police attended for the Commissioners of Police. Miss Mary Russell, Deputy Keeper of a common lodging house, stated that she had known the deceased for about 2 years on the evening of Bank Holiday, 2nd of April. She had left home at 7 o'clock and returned about 4 or 5 the next morning in a dreadful state. Her face and ears were much injured. I know words. Wow, much injured. one of her ears being nearly torn off. What the fuck? She told the witness that she had been set upon a road with all her money. Witnesses took her to the hospital, and when passing along Elizabeth Street, the deceased pointed out the spot where she was assaulted. She said there could be 3 men, but blah blah blah. Said that when deceased was admitted to the hospital, she had been drinking, was not intoxicated. She's bleeding from her head and ear and other injuries of revolting nature. Witnesses found that she was suffering from rupture of the peritoneum. I don't know what that means. What is a peritoneum? Which had been perforated by some blunt instrument used by great force. The deceased told them that it was 1:30 in the morning, crossing near the Whitechapel church. When she noticed some men coming towards her, she forced her to avoid them, but they followed, sorted her, took all her money, and committed the merciless fucking beating. She was unable to say what kind of instrument was used, nor could she describe the assailants, except that she said one of them was a youth of 19. Death ensued on Wednesday morning, 4th of April, through peritonitis set up by the industries. Margaret Hayes, the same address, deceased. So blah blah blah. She was I don't care anymore.
The information excludes the murder of the first woman, Miss Smith. Jack the Ripper can't be the author of that crime. On the other hand, there are enough similarities to suggest he may be the killer of Martha Tabram.
Oh, so I didn't
go to the pet shop.
I didn't have to do like. All right. To the map. To the map. To the map. 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 To the map. To the map. To the map. 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 Where's the map? Ward of Old. He lives somewhere here. To the pet shop. Why is there, like... This is easily within walking distance. Why? Why you give me a fast travel there?
I must go to the pet shop.
Yes.
Closed until further notice. Abraham isn't there. No luck.
Damn. Goddamn fancy clothes.
Beep beep.
Oh, it's Beep Beep Man.
Good evening.
Oh, good evening,
Teleport.
sir.
Why is the shop
Do you
closed?
know why Mr. Solomonovich's shop is closed?
No, I don't. Perhaps his cousin, the cobbler, knows. But I believe the police came to take his animals. I think that might have something to do with it.
When was this?
During the day. The kids you were with the other day were there, they told me. They just came by to ask for some cat's meat. They didn't have any money, but I guess...
Is something wrong?
It's just that there was a little girl with them, the same age as mine.
Dr. Watson told me about your loss.
The illness, sir.
Oh my
poor
god, I
little
don't care
girl
about your
was
fucking
there.
plague-ridden
She looked-
family.
What illness was it?
Dr. Gibbons tried to explain when I took my little girl to see him, but I didn't.
I understand. Let's go and see Dr. Gibbons.
Can't I ask Mr. fucking Solomonovich where his cousin is? Yo, motherfucker, where's your cousin?
Hello, Mr. Sol. I heard your cousin Abraham had a problem with his shop. What happened?
He did.
If I didn't know you well, I would tell you that it's Jewish business that doesn't concern anyone but the Jews.
Anyone but the Jews.
But as you have a little bit to do with it, you have the right to know what is
Oh,
going on.
fuck.
Would I have something to do with it?
Someone had seen Abraham telling you something and making big gestures near the Imperial Club. A vicious rumor quickly spread.
I did, indeed, speak with your cousin the
As I was saying, it's the story of the Jews.
Nobody likes
In the
the
face
Jews.
of adversity, we are united. But amongst ourselves, it's like anywhere else. As soon as our people take a dislike to someone, for right or wrong, we can be without pity and quite cruel.
This is all very worrying. Your cousin knows one, or rather two, of the men who were at the Imperial Club on the night of the Mitre Square murder. One of the two, a butcher in Aldgate named Joseph.
But there are dozens of Jewish butchers around Aldgate, half of which must be called Joseph.
How did
And you know,
Jewish
Mr.
butchers
Holmes,
work?
We Jews prefer to remain in the background of this murderer business, this Jack the Ripper thing. All of London is pointing their fingers at us saying, it's a Jew who disemboweled these women. Our community...
I'd be extreme. Very well. We may meet
Okay, so he's
You are
not dead.
most-
I thought he was dead.
Let's go and see Dr. Gibbons.
I really thought he was dead. I was like, yep, they're gonna kill the Jew. Because this game is... I would like a brawly. Give me a brawly.
I have nothing to ask.
It rained. You know, it hasn't rained once, actually. It's weird. Is there no rain physics in this game? If so, it's poor representation of London. Excuse me, Mr. Drugman.
Hello, Doctor.
Sell
Do
me
you
some
remember
opium.
me? I'm Sherlock Holmes, Dr. Watson's friend.
Oh, yes. Excuse the mess, but I am doing a bit of tidying.
Throwing out any opium?
I have come to see you about a Mr. Hardyman, a
Yes, I know him. A tragic story.
Actually, I was hoping you could tell me about the disease that took his daughter, a disease that would have attacked her face.
Well, to keep it short, we are speaking of syphilis, Mr. Holmes. You must certainly know that it is transmitted through intimate connections and that the vast prostitute population here contributes to its inevitable progression. It destroys individuals by spreading through the body slowly. The most obvious symptoms can be found in the genitalia and on the face in the form of pustules or lesions. Sometimes this illness can destroy whole families. The father catches it from a prostitute, he transmits it to his wife, who in her turn passes it to the kids which she bears or nurses. These cases are numerous in the vicinity. Certain children, and this is the case of the little girl whom I won't name, suffer from an emaciation of the face which will, apart from predicting an imminent death, bring infamy upon the family.
So that means Hardiman slept with a whore, and it is his fault.
Emaciation of the face?
Yes, what we sometimes call the pox. I will give you a photograph. One cannot be mistaken on the origin of such a face. The eyes seem to be void of lids. The nose is inexistent, as if it was cut off. And the cheeks are chiselled as if cut with a knife.
Very specific,
This loss of
Dr.
facial
Gibbons.
matter, this emaciation, is in this area often the gift from a father to his children.
Can I keep this photograph?
I should destroy it. But if it can remind you that one must sometimes think twice before giving in to physical attraction...
I always seem to find myself alone in such cases.
You
Thank you,
fucking
Doctor.
turbo version. Oh my! It looks. Look, the cheeks look like they're cut off. The lips are swollen. The eyelids are got. The nose is. It is exactly like the murders.
I've paced up and down Whitechapel enough. I should return to Baker Street in order to reflect on the new facts that I have discovered.
Pressing the N key. Take me to the map. I didn't know. That is some information I was missing. I didn't know syphilis caused your nose and shit to fall off. That means that even narrows down the victim's more. Jack the Ripper's Jack the Ripper could be someone who had a family member die of syphilis, probably a daughter or something, and maybe the daughter was a prostitute, so he blames prostitution as a whole, and that's why he only kills prostitutes. And he cuts them up like, no more, you look like you have syphilis. Bye-bye nose, bye-bye eyes. And all the other stuff was like practices and stuff. Oh, and look, here's the fucking violin that constantly gets me in trouble with fucking YouTube. They're like, this contains protected content by WMG.
Good day, Watson.
Listen, Holmes, I know I should have got here sooner to give you a report on my research, but this case has led me to neglect my patients and my wife more than I care to admit. I've been able to sort things out over the last few days, and now I am ready to pursue this investigation.
I have killed my woman.
You don't have to justify yourself, Watson. Whilst I do tolerate you as an observer, and despite your occasional help with more menial tasks, may I remind you that you are by no means an indispensable part of this case.
Fucking told.
You tolerate me as an observer, do you? Oh, you're too much, Holmes. Well, Mr. Detective, despite my absence, I have been working on this case, putting my relationship on the line in the process. And I happen to have a confidential letter that only passed from one lord's hand to another. What it contains is extremely serious and concerns Dr. Tumblety and his collection of uteri.
Is that the plural of uterus?
Let me see that.
Uteri. Oh, look, it's a peasant. My lord, I be hereby assured of my entire collaboration in this affair, which I must reply. No one will be able to cast a no fucking poor person knows that word. A proprium on our institution or ourselves. Our imminent okay, it's not a poor guy, he just uses poor guy words to start off. You only hear, like, poor people say my lord. It's weird. Or at least say it like that. Like, normally it's my lord. As you mentioned, we must avoid having to explain our cultured masses the intricacies of medical research. A general crisis of confidence will result in inevitable amalgamation. The press would hasten to create between this and the hideous murder committed in the East End. To this end, I tactfully evoked the rumor that you mentioned in your letter when you met my colleagues turns out to have grounds, and these are the specifics that I have been able to obtain. 18 months thence, an American doctor in London did, in fact, contact certain hospitals. His approach was aimed at getting stocks of feminine genitalia, particularly uteri. He was motivated initially by the finalization of his research and of its publication. The doctor in question wanted to include a uterus specimen freshly conserved in formalin, with each of the researchers stationed and each colleagues involved. A large quantity is thus necessary, and this doctor proposed to buy each of the uteri for £20 each. Well, that's, you know, he's paying a lot more than... The hospital directors did not pay heed to these demands, of that I would be assured. Between you and I, my lord, who knows what strange consequences would have followed these demands of the American doctor. The rumour of these unusual commissions made the door of the hospitals in question at the time and spread to others since. Simple day labourers employed in our organisations considered that the gain of £20 could justify theft, perhaps worse. The identity of the doctor is unknown to me, but based on the recall of one of my colleagues, the man had the most impressive references. After a research I didn't find the existence of any publication to the eventual correlation of this on the other side of the Atlantic. The man left London shortly after his pitch, it would seem. I cannot help but think that he has perhaps returned to London and has found someone who might furnish him with what he is looking for. It is Tumblety. Tumblety is Jack the Ripper, no
This
way around
American
it.
could turn out to be of great use to use.
That's right, and that's not all. I did some research and finally found an illness that affects the genitalia and can, in certain cases, cause facial symptoms resembling the mutilations seen on the last victim. It is called, would you believe?
Syphilis!
Syphilis and the emaciation that can be seen in affected children. I have known that for days, Watson.
Really?
Listen, now you're already here, Watson, we may as well continue the investigation. Do you remember the map on which we established the area in which our killer lives? I think we should continue
Oh no,
our
not more
study.
ellipses. Please no.
Well, I discovered the case of another murder before that of Pax Row. It happened in George Yard. We shall put it on the map in order to see if it corresponds to our area of research. We must place the murder of Martha Tabram in George Yard on the map.
Okay, where's George Yard? Oh, there it is. Oh my god, it fits!
That is where Martha Tabram's murder took place. There's no point going there. I already have all the information we need on that matter. You see, this murder took place in the area in which our killer lives, his safe zone. Nonetheless, there are two major differences between the murder of this Martha Tabram and that of Polly Nichols. Firstly, the blows inflicted are not the same.
Come on.
And the second difference?
It follows on from a doctor's opinion. He claims two weapons might have been used, and if there is one group of people we absolutely must not trust in this business, it's doctors.
Isn't that right,
Don't
Dr.
you agree, Watson?
Watch it, Holmes.
Tabram's murder took place in an area where the murderer, whose cowardice is clear, was able to make a quick getaway, that is to say, near his home. For his second murder, he would have wanted to go further afield, so the police would not link these two cases. And as for the other murders, seeing the ineffectiveness of his last one, he headed in different directions to kill his victims while still staying in the vicinity and without going any further than necessary, and all the while planning his escape.
Doesn't sound very cowardly so much as he sounds intelligent.
My dear Watson, we now know what this man looks like, in what area he lives, and that he suffered directly or indirectly from syphilis. Let's not forget the anatomical knowledge he must almost certainly possess. Given his lower class background, a butcher seems very likely. However, it may be the case that the man was a butcher once, but is no longer. He might also have been a medical assistant. Who knows? That's why we need the testimonies of the other Joseph and Dr. Tumblety in order to be certain.
What shall we do, Holmes?
As the police's cooperation is futile and can be ruled out, we have nothing to do but wait. Watson, wait, and hope we see one of these two men before the killer strikes again.
Oh my god.
At last, a long day's work done. How are you doing, Holmes?
Fine, Watson, just fine.
I suppose you still haven't heard any news from Whitechapel?
No, Watson.
It's been almost a month now. Who knows? Our killer may have brought justice upon himself, overcome by remorse and ignominy for his actions.
Not a chance, Watson.
You haven't done anything about the story of a kidney that was sent in the post and reported by the papers.
Kidneys are
Why not?
pussy.
The killer left a message on one occasion with the intention of harming. The letter accompanying this package served no purpose other than to give value to its recipient and arouse disgust against its sender. The killer has never done anything for nothing. In order to authenticate the Galston Street message, he left an indisputable piece of evidence. Can we really say as much about this
The
kidney?
copycat killer.
I don't know. All I know is that there are letters piling up on your desk. Isn't it time to move on to another case?
No.
Absolutely not, Watson. I think that the other Joseph is reluctant to meet me. The man he saw must certainly have put the fear of God in him, a man well known for his violence and his hatred towards Jews. There can't be any shortage of those in Whitechapel. I have hope yet. As for Dr. Tumblety...
We found him, Mr. Holmes. We found him.
We found him, we
Dr.
did.
Bumblebee. He's been locked
Dr.
up by the
Bumblebee.
bobbies, but they've let him loose. Oi, he was looking round like a rat who's scared of his own shadow. He's gonna do a run at years.
Watson, this is our chance. The game is afoot.
The game is afoot.
Let's hope that Tumblety will go to collect his trunk. As for you, my little friends, thank you for lifting this burden that has been on my shoulders for almost a month.
Okay. I thought it was Tumblety. I really did. And I'm gonna turn down this music so in the future I don't. Music volume. Turn that shit down. Yeah. It's still the same volume. What the fuck? You suck, Gabe. But fuck off. I seriously thought it was Tumblety. I really did. But if it's not Tumblety, and if it's someone who's poor, someone who would have got a daughter or something with syphilis and would have like got the nose and the eyes and all that, it's the Catman. It has to be the Catman because he used to be a butcher. We don't know enough about his past. He may well have been a medical assistant, or he learned something about medical assistancy. He has access to butcher's knife. He has access to the butcher shop, where he could easily have gotten knives. Because that knife drawer seemed very empty. Oh my god. See, like, you think it's one person, and it's like, nah, it's Tumblety. They're building it up to be Tumblety. There's Tumblety, it's Tumblety. And then, last minute, you're like, wait a minute. This bit of evidence says it's not Tumblety. This makes that evidence make... Oh. It's the Catman. It has to be him.